Tragic here, and welcome to another Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah. And this time we're going to do the Dead Marshes, which is actually a pretty cool quest. I quite like this quest. It was it's kind of a little lame in solo. A lot of the original quests are much better two-player. It really is a two-player game that can be played solo and can be played, you know, 3-player, 4-player. It wasn't until well into Daredevil that they really started to try and make a few quests focus on 4 players and a few quests focus on solo. And a lot of these original quests, they come up a little short. Now, what's cool about this quest is that it's got a really thematic mechanic built into it. So what happens is we're actually chasing Gollum, right? And we keep trying to capture him, and then he gets away from us. And so he stays in the staging area, and we just follow him through the Dead Marshes as he's trying to hide. And the mechanic is that he does an escape test every end of the quest phase. And if that escape test is basically a second quest, just like a normal questing with will versus threat, except you're versing some of the cards in the Golem set have a little bit of text that says escape 2 or escape 4. And you need to quest and match or better that questing power. So this poses a problem for solo players because they need to basically, they need to attack, defend, and quest, but of course they need to quest twice. So the way this deck gets around that is by using a fast hitch and Bilbo. Now Bilbo, of course, is there for card draw, so we can run into our cards really fast. He is so powerful in solo games. And by having fast hitch and an unexpected courage, we have 6 cards to allow him to untap. Then we have a number of cards that are attachments to boost will. We have Protector of Lorien. We have one of the Duodane signals. I've forgotten what it's called. And we have Celebrian Stone. And he can get up to like 7, sometimes even higher. I can't remember exactly, but he can get very, very high. He starts with 1, Celebrian Stone's 2, then it's another 3. Okay, so he can get up to 6 questing power, and then he can discard another 3 using Protector to get even further. Now, interesting about Protector, though, of course, is Protector is only 3 times a phase now. It's been errated. And this all takes place in the questing phase. So you can't tap him for questing, use Protector, and then tap him for escape test. But it doesn't really matter, because in a solo game, the escape test is 1 card per player, and the average escape test card is only 2. So as soon as he's above 2 and has an untap effect on, he's pretty safe. I mean, there are some other situations. So the deal is we want to quest with Bilbo, then untap Bilbo, and then use him to quest again for the escape test. We use Denethor to control the deck, because there is some very nasty monsters. It does have the set that has the hill trolls in it, so there's quite a lot of very, very nasty things. It does have those incredibly annoying wargs that just bounce in and out, and we do not have any answers for stage area damage in this deck. And finally, we have Aragorn. Now, Aragorn is probably not technically needed for this deck. You could probably get away with using a lower threat hero because he hardly ever quests. He is basically there to put damage onto any monsters that we find, but he also has an ability that allows him to quest without actually tapping. So he can spend 1 resource point and add 2 to the quest without actually tapping at all. And while in my test games, I didn't play many, I played about 3 or 4 test games while I built the deck, I really only used that very, very rarely, so he could probably be swapped out. The important thing for him is that he has the leadership icon, and that's really what he's there for. So he could probably be swapped out for a lower threat to get better scores. Anyway, so that's really how the deck functions. It's a very, very simple deck. It's just questing power and some monster control. Monster control through Denethor, obviously, and monster control through snares. And it's all... yeah, and that's about it. You should pretty much never lose, beg your pardon, this quest, ever. So, let's get into this. Okay, so... here we are. So we're playing the Dead Marshes, which is a really cool quest. I sort of talked about it in the intro. Let's have a look at the quest cards themselves. So we're starting off with 1A. You have followed Gollum's trail for days and are now closing in fast pursuit. In a last-ditch effort to escape you, the creature has fled to the dead marshes. Search the encounter deck for Golem and add it to the staging area. Okay, so yeah boink. Shuffle the encounter deck, done. Then reveal one card per player from the encounter deck. Putching. Oh no. Okay, we'll deal with that in a sec. Okay, so we have place 2 resource tokens on Golem. Any player can exhaust 1 lore hero to reduce this effect by 1 resource token. Okay, so we'll deal with that in a sec. Here's our heroes. We have Denethor, Bilbo, Bilbo, that's how I like it. Denethor, which is one of my all-time favourite characters. Bilbo, one of my all-time favourite characters. And Aragorn, who is a character I very rarely use, but thought I'd give him a go because he has a nice untapping effect that he can use. Okay, so this is actually the 4th time I've played this game. I actually won it every time, but I'm incapable of remembering to do the escape tests. Like when I edited it together, I was like, oh my god, I missed like 3 escape tests, which could possibly really change the game. It's not something you can just go, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, because, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully we're not going to screw up this time. Okay, so this is our opening hand, as you saw me retrieve. It's not particularly good. It does have the Steward, which is also powerful, which will allow him to do extra questing, which is very good. And yeah, so everything's pretty cool, and it does have some protection against nasty monsters because there's big trolls and stuff in there. And we have Strider's Path, which is a hugely underrated card that allows you to swap cards out. So let's have a quick look at Golem. If Golem ever has 8 or more resource tokens on him, shuffle him back into the encounter deck. Forced. At the end of the quest phase, the party must make an escape test dealing 1 card per player from the encounter deck. If the test is failed, place 2 resources on Golem. This is a pretty cool little mechanic. So basically, when we get to 2A, I might just read 2A now, just so you can see the effect of 2A. It's only 3 to pass, but forced. After the stage is defeated, the first player chooses a player. That player must pass an escape test dealing 1 card from the encounter deck for each resource token on Golem to capture him. If Golem is not captured, reset the quest to 1B. Okay, so that is pretty major. So quest 1B is 12 spots, as you saw. Okay, 1B, it's a 12 point objective, and it's got some funky ass text. Let's do it. Let's try and do this without my voice breaking. Yes, yes, said Golem. All dead, all rotten, elves and men and orcs. The dead marshes. There was a great battle long ago, yes. So they told Smeagol when he was young, when I was young, before the precious came. It was a great battle. Tall men and long swords and terrible elves and orcs shrieking. They fought in the plains for days and months at the Black Gates. But the marshes have grown since then. They've swallowed up the graves, always creeping, creeping. The 2 towers. Whoa! Okay, so enough of that. And what we want to do is travel through here with him getting as few tokens as possible, which is kind of annoying. So we are going to tap Bilbo before the game has even started to reduce this effect by 1, because it says you may tap, a player may exhaust a lore hero to reduce this effect to 1 resource token. Okay? Alright, so let's just stick that away. So he starts with 1. And that is the situation. Now we start with a very high threat because we were using Boragorn, and he is at 29, I think. What do we are? 12, 8 and 9, yep, so 29 threat to begin. And we're at turn 0. Okay, so let's do it. So the first thing we need to do, of course, is draw 2 cards because we're playing with Bilbo. Nice. And then we all get one resource like so. Now, we're going to spend one resource and place out Hammermarth. And then we're going to tap Denethor and see what's coming next. We see that it is a goblin. So we are going to place that at the bottom. And with any luck, we're not going to get something worse. Okay, so this could be a bad openings move. I'm going to not quest at all. So this gets revealed. It is the perfect one, Treacherous Fog. When revealed, each location in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the phase. Oops, there is no one in the staging area. Oh yeah. Each player with a threat of 35 or higher, we're under 35, nothing happens. So, how awesome is that? We're questing for none, there's none in the staging area, no threat gain, no threat loss. We then tap Aragon to do the escape test and we reveal the card, boom. And as you can see, this is from the core set, there's no escape test. So he's questing for 2, 0 escape test, nothing happens. So that was a pretty good opening turn. Now we're going to tap Hammermarth and see what's next. It is a 2-point Fens Marsh. Okay, so that's all very well and good. That was a pretty good opening turn. So let's go to 1. Let's go to 30. Draw 2 cards for Bilbo. Okay, and everyone gets a resource. That goes to 1, this goes to 2, this goes to 2, and of course everyone untaps. So the first thing we're obviously going to do is cast out Steward on good old Aragorn. Let's move that up a little bit so you can see. Okay, so we're casting 2 for Aragorn. And now we have a choice. We can either place out... Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we are going to do that. We're going to spend 2 and place out Celeber and Stone on Bilbo. Okay? And what will that do is that'll increase his willpower all the way to 3. So he's now questing for 3. But without our untap effects, we're still in a lot of trouble. So, think what we know that there's 2 in the staging area, so we only need to quest for 2. There's no monsters, is there? So, what we're going to do, we're going to spend 2 and place out our Hammersmith guy. Now he's only in the deck because he costs 2 and he has 1 will. Doesn't have any functionality. Then we quest for 1, 2, 3, and we reveal the Fens of Myers, which is a 2. Now, check out this. Forced. After the player travels to this location, place 1 resource token on Golem. Well, that's not very, very cool. But what we're going to do, we're going to spend 1 resource and play Strider's Path. So I'm trying to show you the cards more. Response. After a location is revealed from the encounter deck, immediately travel to that location without resolving its travel effect. Nice. Plunk. So we immediately travel to here, and I've already run out of room. There we go. Alright, so there's nothing in the staging area. We're questing for 2, 3. There's 2 on there. So 2 goes there, 1 goes there, and this is now explored. So it's a fairly smooth start so far. And now we tap Bilbo to do the escape test. It's an escape test value of 1. So 3 versus 1, we win. Then we tap Denethor, see what's coming next. it's a 3-cost location, and I think we're just going to leave that there. Basically anything that's not a monster is fine to leave there for now. Let's go to 2, let's go to 31, untap, untap. Whoop! I bumped the camera. Oh no, oh no. Okay, how's that? And then we draw 2 cards. Boom. We get another thing, and finally a fast hit. Perfect, that's just what we want. So we get 1, we get 1 for you, and we get 3 resources on Aragon because of Steward of Gondor. So the first thing we do is we spend 1 resource and we place a fast hitch on Bilbio. And well, that's about it really, isn't it? So we know there's going to be 3 in the staging area, so we're going to quest for 1, 2, 3. We may as well use his ability, so we're actually going to not tap him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's reveal. There's 3 in the staging area. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which takes this to 4. Bonk. And then we travel to this location. Oh wait, before we travel, we then tap for 3, reveal the escape test, and this is an escape test of 3. Woohoo! So we pass. And then we tap Denethor, see what's coming next. When revealed, each player raises threat by 1 for each character who is controlled not currently committed to the quest. We're going to leave that there. And then we just untap. This goes to 32. This goes to 3. We draw 2 cards. Nice. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a problem here as we haven't pulled our songs or anything. So this goes to 1, this goes to 2, and this now goes to 5. Okay, so we're going to quest with everybody except Denethor. So we're questing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reveal. Denethor's the only guy not questing, so our threat goes up by 1. This now gets discarded. And with burning through this at huge speeds. So what are we questing for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 4 in the staging area. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. This is now discarded. And then we do an escape test of 3. May as well do him as well. Escape test of 5. Flip it over. Oh, look at that. Escape test 5. Beautiful. Boink. And then we tap Denethor and see what is next. Woohoo! This is not an overpowered ability at all. Impassable Bog. Nice. Okay, so we now have Impassabilis Bog. So untap, 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 yuntap, 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 go to far, go to turn 4, reveal, draw 2 cards, and Spirit Song. We do have a Spirit Song. This now goes to 2, this now goes to 3, and this one goes to 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, I think the choices here are fairly simple. 3, 4, 5. Well, we can put down Gildor and Glorian, so why the hell not? I won't put down Gildor and Glorian just yet. Because I want to be able to... See, the thing is, right, Gildor and Glorian's 5, okay? But we want to have Forest Snare up, just in case a troll comes out or something really nasty. I can't even remember. Did I tap Denethor last turn? I did. It was something we didn't care about, wasn't it? I can't remember. Anyway, so we want to keep that in case a troll comes out. And that costs 3, so we need 1 more resource to cast Gildor safely. And we're not in any rush. So what we are going to do, we're going to spend 1 resource and place out Song of Spirit. And then we're going to cast 3 resources. 1, 2, 3, and lower our threat by 6. 1, 2, ooh, wait, it's the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh god, these are so annoying, these things. It's actually kind of cool but annoying at the same time. Okay. I can't remember what's coming next, so I'm just going to tap Heremath. That's right, it's Impassable Bog, which is only cost of 1, which is fairly innocuous. So, oh well, so we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your bonk. 1, so that's another +5, which takes us to 12. And bang, that is the end of that. This is instantly removed. Oh, I forgot to read 1B. I'll just read 1B now and sort of splice it into the beginning. And my voice didn't destroy itself, which is good. Got a bit of a catch. Okay, let's go. So we're now at 2A. Woohoo! 2A. After a tiring pursuit through the treacherous marshlands, you have cornered Golem and move in for the capture. Doing. Okay, so remember, we only need to quest for 3 and then do an escape test. So it's all pretty handy. So let's just tap Denethor and see what's coming next. And it is a Goblin Sniper that has 2. Okay, so let's see what's going on there. That means there's going to be 3 in the staging area, which will leave us 3, 4, 5, which is fine. So we can finish the game this turn. Okay, so we're going to leave the Golden Sniper there. This untaps, this untaps. Both these guys untap. This goes to 29. This goes to 5. We draw 2 cards. And then you get 3 resources, you get 1 resource, and you get 1 resource. Okay, so basically we've won the game, but we'll play it through anyway, just for funsies. So for starters, we're going to cast couldn't I cast Gildor last turn? Did I just not able to do mathematics? Why is he still at 1? It was 3 and 2. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was 3 and 2, 4 and 3. That's what it should be. Okay, so I cast Gildor and Glorian for 5. And I'm going to cast another Hammersmith for 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. And then I'm going to cast for 4 Tomb plus Gildor and Glorian. Drop our threat by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're doing 15. Nice. Well, we're doing pretty well. There's 2 coming out of the staging area, so we need to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6. So we quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we reveal with doink. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We complete, and remember in the rules, as soon as you complete, you instantly resolve the quest effects, and the quests always are an instant interrupt, basically, an ability. So the end of game test happens before we do the escape test on Golem. So there isn't an escape test and then the final escape test, there's just this one. So that's it. So so we just have to deal 1 card. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we deal 1 card with escape test of 2. Bang. Golem is captured. Yoink. And that's it. That's escape to Golem. Now that was a pretty good run. Threat of 15. And a turn of 5. Now this can actually go a lot harder. I've actually had games that are quite... Actually, one of the ones that failed, I mean, I could upload it. I might upload it after this one, because we still won, but it had a couple of errors in it, which was really annoying, but I still won it in the end. But the very first card flipped over at the beginning was a hill troll. And then it was just like all these monsters, and it was a lot harder. Like we ended up with we did win, but it was like turn 10 at the end, and we had like 40 something threat because we didn't pull any of our resource genning cards, so we couldn't. It was a much more interesting game. I'm going to upload it as well, even though this is how the deck is supposed to function. I mean, this is what it does most of the time. The other game is an anomaly. But anyway, so that is Hunt for Golem, which is a very cool quest, even though we thrashed it. It's much more interesting in multiplayer. Now, that's the thing about this game. Especially in the Mirkwood cycle, multiplayer, like 2-player, was much more developed. I've always said that this is a 2-player game that you can play solo and can play 3 players or 4 players. But it's primarily a 2-player game, in my opinion. Still, there's only one more to do, and that is the famous return to Mirkwood. Now, let's try not to knock my camera down. So it's just return to Mirkwood left, and then we have whatever it's called, whatever that print on demand one was called, I forgot, Osgiliath or something. And then we've finished the Mirkwood cycle, and we can start moving into Khazad-dûm, which is really cool because the card pool is it's like twice the size when we get into the Daradel cycle, which basically means we can move into some different decks, some more interesting decks, because basically for solo, Hammermarth Bilbo Denethor, he just owns, and I will be using Hammermarth Bilbo and Denethor in Return to Mirkwood, which is a very, very hard one. I might actually, that's the kind of one where if you die, you die in the first turn or 2, so I might have a couple of false starts, but the deck I have for it can complete Mirkwood fairly regularly, just using this set. So I'm looking forward to that, because that is a very fun quest, because it's there's quite a lot of decision points. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope I didn't make any errors this time, and if I did, I'm just going to upload it because I'm sick of doing it. I've done it like 3 times, explaining the mechanics of the quest like 3 or 4 times over. It's just, I'm bored of it, damn it. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time.